So my big idea for a product was 11 years ago when my eldest son was a baby. I was really self-conscious breastfeeding in public and would use anything I could get my hands on to cover up. Muslins, blankets, scarves, but anything I used wasn't really effective enough. I found that it would fall off or slip off, or as it got a bit bigger he might kick it off. Blankets, he would get too hot, and I was really self-conscious. I wanted something that I knew was not going to fall off, and it made me feel more comfortable and confident. So I had the idea for creating a discreet breastfeeding cover once I'd looked online and was unable to find one. I had no experience in product design whatsoever. I had a little bit of money. I had about £1,000 that I could use for this, as I'd been made redundant while I was on maternity leave, and I decided that because that money had never been mine and I'd never had that money in my pocket or in my bank, I was gonna give it a go, because if I didn't and somebody else did, I just wasn't prepared for that to happen. So I started to think about what the product would look like, what purpose it would serve. Well, I already knew what purpose I wanted it to serve, but then I started to think about it all in a bit more detail. And in the end, the product design ended up being a little bit more simpler than I'd originally imagined. I bought some fabric and literally cut it up and used a teddy bear to tie it in different ways and see what would work. What else did I do? I came up with a name. I'd come up with the name quite early on, Mama Scarf. For me, it did exactly what it said on the tin, and that was my name. I was 100% confident. At that point, there's a lot of businesses now with Mama in the title, but a lot less then. So I had the name. My friend's husband was a web designer, and I asked him for some help. I'd drawn a logo and he created it for me on a file, because I wasn't very technical, still not. And he was also a web designer, so he designed me a really kind of basic website. And I went to a baby show with a friend of a friend who had a maternity product, and she said if I came and helped her for the day, I could get some feedback from mums. So I went along with a sample of my product, with some leaflets that I'd had made, and got some feedback, and the feedback was all really good, and that was everything I needed to know that I was going to do it. I'd also got feedback and done sort of market research. I'd done a lot of research online about breastfeeding, how people felt about breastfeeding in public. I had spoken to loads of different mums, some friends and some not, some in baby groups. It wasn't always easy putting my idea out there, because I did have a bit of negative feedback. Because obviously not everybody thinks that mums should cover up to breastfeed, and I don't think mums should cover up, but I wanted to. I remember one mum saying to me, I don't think it's a very good idea, I'd never buy that. And I was really disheartened, but I think I knew that it was still the right thing to do, and I was going to do it anyway. So that was kind of all I needed to. I didn't need her advice, if that makes sense. It made me more certain that it was the right thing and that I was still going to do it anyway. So I had 50 made up. I bought the fabric at the local fabric market, 100% cotton. I knew I wanted it to be 100% cotton, and I wanted it to be something that would fit in with the mum's clothes. So I went for black. And I had them made by a seamstress, and so obviously not the cheapest way of doing it, but at that time it was the right thing for me to do, I think. Now I use factories. I've got various different factories in different countries that we use, but for me then it was the right thing to do, and it meant that I was able to get a really small quantity and to kind of test the market and sell those 50, which I did. And I'll talk more in the next video about that and how I sold those 50. But yeah, that was kind of the first stage, the big idea to sort of getting the product ready. Okay, let me know if you've got any questions, if you want to comment below, and then I can answer them in future video.